Hello and welcome to this digital learning conversation between a group of our Year 6 learners and Miss Goddard, our Year 6 teacher. Today's conversation will focus on how the Year 6 children have used OneNote for their Geography Learning Quest. For their Geography Learning Quest, based around the Ivory Coast, the children have used their class OneNote notebook individually to work through a range of activities, which gives them opportunities to look at a range of maps, use a range of videos, and access text resources too. The children have had a chance to use a range of the OneNote resources and tools in order to complete their learning. This has included the pen tool, but also the text tool as well. Good morning, Year 6. Thank you for meeting with me today to talk about how we've used OneNote within our Geography Learning Quest that we're doing at the moment, all about the Ivory Coast. So we've used OneNote quite a lot within our home learning and also within your remote learning, but I thought it'd be interesting to discuss with you how it's been used in school with this particular learning quest. So Emma, how have we been using OneNote within this particular learning quest, both as a class, but also how have you used it individually?
We completed a series of tasks using different tools within OneNote, such as labels, the pen tool, and shapes, and we each worked on our own virtual activity sheet. But a useful thing about it was that Miss Goddard could show us other children's with ease, so that it's easily accessible to find and look at other people's work.
I think you're completely right, and I've been able to show up other people's work quite quickly and swiftly on the board, and you've all been able to see and access that. So Tom, is there anything else you noticed as being particularly useful about using OneNote as our activity sheet, as our kind of exercise book, if you like?
It was like being able to research and be in control of your learning, and also having multiple tabs on one Google page, and then it's easy to access on the internet while you're working.
Yeah, brilliant. So you had all those tools at your fingertips, didn't you? Which meant that you could easily access any research you needed in order to be able to complete your task. Jilly, how has OneNote supported and enhanced your learning and the learning quest itself?
We could have multiple tasks on the same, well, almost sheet, but it was our virtual page. Whereas without the technology, it would all be on one, and you would have to have multiple. So that was much easier. But then also to make it even clearer, we used emojis to direct around the page so we could see where we were going when we need to put our answers, which was really helpful when using it.
Yeah, great. And actually, we were able to look at lots of different maps, weren't we? That perhaps if we'd had paper forms, we would have needed to have lots of different pieces of paper. Actually, all those maps were in one place. Amy, can you add to what Jilly said?
Also OneNote's very good for the input at the beginning of the lesson, because you, Miss G, can explain everything so that we understand it all and we understand what we're doing in the lesson.
And actually the nice thing is, because that OneNote is in our class notebook, you can go back to some of that stuff and re-look at it if you're unsure or need a bit of help. So actually thinking forward then, how do you think we could further develop our use of OneNote in school, Tom?
So we could use OneNote for when you get into class in the morning and then you need a challenge to do, just to get your brain thinking for the morning, or you could do stuff for every so often you could use OneNote for a maths test or something.
And actually those morning challenges could then be collaborative sometimes, or perhaps individual on other occasions, because we could use the collaboration space or our personal notebooks. Julie, could you add to that? Any other ways we could use OneNote?
We could also use OneNote to celebrate and display children's learning from across the school, so the younger children and the older children, as in a display of writing that everyone thinks is good, so you can all go back to it and look at other children's work, and you can reflect on your own and compare it to other kids, which would be really nice for other children.
Yeah, absolutely. We can make a digital compilation of learning rather than displays always needing to be printed off and up on the wall. We could have those digitally. Fabulous. Thank you so much for meeting with me Year 6 this morning and for talking to us about how we've used OneNote within our learning quest.
This was a digital learning conversation between learners and staff at Cornerstone C of E Primary in Hampshire in the UK. To find out more about how we are using digital technology to enhance teaching and learning at our school, please get in contact with us.